This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone and welcome to the new topic. It's a UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle overview and the applications in the technical domain which we are going to discuss today. Also in short we call it as UAV, and most properly known nowadays is drone. Of course, these vehicles are for remote sensing. The UAV vehicles are for remote sensing, but nowadays for various purposes they are also being used, even for putting insecticides and pesticides in agriculture fields. First of all, we are not going to discuss much detail in the UAV concepts in the technical domain side, but we are actually discussing the application domain areas of the UAV and how it is being used in the remote sensing, and and these platform can be used for you can use to see there are variety of drones which are available, especially one to focus to the payload itself. Okay, so what is the UAV? UAV is an aircraft without an onboard pilot, so the name is unmanned aerial vehicle because it's an automated system. We are having the aerial system which don't have any pilot. That's why we named it as a UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. Its flight is either predefined or controlled autonomously by computers or under the remote control of a pilot on the ground. Basically the pilot is controlling from the ground itself, so that's why that's why it's an autonomous system. Basically, UAVs are the component of an unmanned aircraft system, which includes UAV, a ground-based controller, and a system of communication between the two links. Basically, when we are talking about the UAV, we actually have the basically the UAV, the aerial system, and one is the controller, which actually with the which with the pilot, which are on a ground, which actually controls the UAV. That is the ground station, and the system between the aerial vehicle and the controller, the communication link is also be the one of the component of the UAV itself. Now we generally say this as a drone, and drone stand for dynamic remote operated navigation equipment. That's why the we generally use the terms as the drone. These are some of the pictures of the UAV. There are different type of UAVs available in the market, and some of the government funded UAVs also there. And there are some policies also to fly the UAVs, which are actually be defined by DGCA. We are not going to talk about the DGCA policies in this session, but without the approval of the DGCA, we cannot fly the drone of the higher categories. The categories in the drone categories are divided by DGCA in a five different ways. That is micro, mini, small, uh, heavy payload drones, and
Voice is not audible, sir.
Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Now it's audible, sir.
Yes. Actually, there's a power shutdown is there. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. So the expert will start soon. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Just a few minutes. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's audible. Audible.
Yes, sir.
इसको करियो जरा crack कर दो.
Someone turn on the videos. Organizers, please inform to them.
Hello, Madan sir. Hello. Hello. Sanjay sir. Hello, Sanjay sir. Connected हो?
Organizer, kindly turn off the attendee video.
हेलो विजय.
हेलो.
हाँ विजय, व्हाट हैपेंड?
मैं वो संजय सर कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं, उनका थोड़ा इशू आ रहा है.
ओके ओके, राइट. ये जो ऑडियो वीडियो ऑल सब टर्न ऑफ कर दो, राइट
Yeah, now it's okay, ma'am.
विजय? या
Is my screen visible?
No, sir, not
Presentation?
visible.
नो सर, इट इज नॉट विजिबल.
Now
Now
it's
it is
visible, sir.
visible? Okay. So in this picture, if you are seeing that one drone which are actually have 4 propellers. So basically the advantage of these with these drones that they have become quite similar to handle, and the other big advantage is with them is they are very stable. As you know, a number of propeller are more. So as you see in this example, there are 4 number of propellers. So they remain quite stable in this space, and better photography or remote sensing can be done. Of course, the other advantages like these are unmanned aerial vehicles. So no pilot is there on the vehicle itself, but a pilot is on the ground. So these are very uh, lightweight, and also these are nowadays it could be having GPS, GNSS receivers, so so that it can be localized. So they can also control through control station, or they can be programmed so to do the automatic survive with GNSS technology or the GPS technology. So all kind of technology integrations are happen with nowadays within the UAVs. UAV basically they are originally used for missions that we are actually say dirty or the dangerous for the humans basically, which actually the where which actually have the dangerous mission. There we are having the we use the UAVs. Still these are being used, and these drones are also being used extensively in military applications. Even they are being used, and in this one they are loaded with some size and plan, and they execute these things basically. These are there are commercial applications also, and many people apart from scientific application, recreation applications are also there about the UAVs itself. Some actually having as a hobby, some are using these drones. So I already talked about the history of the UAV. First time the UAV was used in Australia in 1849. That time the nomenclature of the UAV was not there. Uh, they used the Australian balloon bombs in 1849 that are autonomous flying balloons basically. Then the first UAV was developed in 1916, which are named as the Kettering bug. and this was the first UAV basically. In 1916, the same UAV was actually being developed by laws, and after 1935, after World War One, in 1935, one UAV was also being developed by a renowned film star and model airplane enthusiast Ragnhild Denny, which actually been developed in 1935. And the in US military, they developed first US aircraft in 1959. That was also with the autonomous aircraft. In 1964, US Navy initiated highly classified UAVs into their first combat mission of the Vietnam. They actually used first time in the war in 1964. So UAV drones and the drones are not with us from last decade. They are with us from the last century itself. So these are some of the models which are actually being developed and used in the uh, used earlier. So the types of UAV, there are different types of UAVs available. The some of the are the very lightweight and very robust, and it is very stable also. The rotary which actually have the propellers, some are the fixed wings, and some of the drones having the propellers. So which are actually have multi-rotor drones or the UAVs, they are actually being the most stable drones basically, and they are very lightweight and very robust, and it is very stable also. So they are having either rotary wings or the multi-rotor, and there are propellers. And of course, the advantage are that they are stable. Disadvantage, the battery life is problem. Basically, because of the weight of the battery, uh, this is the basic problem in the UAVs basically. Because all the motors have run on the batteries itself, sometimes the loss of controls are also there. There are some major problems in the UAVs. Sometimes we are flying the drone, and the communication between the control station and the UAVs has been disconnected. That time it's very difficult to actually manage the UAVs itself. So whenever you are having the rotary wings, these are the there are some of the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is that they are VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. That facility is actually available in the uh, rotary wings drones basically. They directly take off from one place itself, and means they are not required any runway to actually take off and the landing.
Okay. Yeah. Is it fine now?
And there is one also, the surveillance or the surveying is also
Is it fine?
much easier with the rotary wings drones basically. And
When my
disadvantage are shorter battery life and the multiple points of failures,
is equal to
the
0,
communication failure and some other type of failures are also there.
R is equal to 1. Okay. Then
Uh, But the advantage in rotary wings that they are used for surveillance and surveying, also for remote sensing. Whereas the fixed wings being which are given here, the wings are actually be fixed, being like this, which are showing in the figure itself. Uh, they are actually having the longer battery life because wings are fixed and more space will be there, and the this VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing, is not be possible in this kind. So we actually find out some space to fit the batteries in these uh, fixed wings uh, drones. but they require to launch fixed driving also better for larger areas coverage and need an open area for takeoff and landing definitely. So there are these two types of drones are there. Now we actually classified the drones in some of the categories here itself, that is target and decoy, providing some ground and the aerial gunnery and it target that simulates an enemy aircraft or missiles. Basically, these are the these are the drones which actually target the missiles and the aircraft, enemies aircraft. Reconnaissance, which are actually be providing battlefield intelligence. Some record has been made in the for the some intelligence during the war. We use such type of drones basically for the surveillance or the uh, for the intelligence itself. Some are the combat drones are also available, which are providing the attack capability and high risk missions, which can actually carry the payloads of the heavyweight missiles, and these are the combat aircraft, unmanned aircraft basically. And some are also being used for the logistic, also specially designed for cargo and the logistic operation. The first UAV, such kind of UAV was actually being used by the Amazon in a in a some sample flying, but they are not commercially being used yet now. Civil and the commercial were specially designed for civil and the commercial application, and some of the drones which I already had told you that they are using for the some person are using as a hobby itself. These are some of the applications of the UAV. If I can say, the UAV can be used in every application like aerospace, military, reconnaissance, defense against UAVs. Archaeology department is also using the UAVs, cargo transports, conservation, healthcare, filmmaking, uh, hobby and recreational use, scientific research, search and rescue, surveillance, surveying, pollution monitoring, oil, gas, mineral exploration and production, disaster relief, agriculture, law enforcement, everywhere. Sorry, the spelling of the terrorist is actually being, I will change that. Uh, and there are many more applications in agriculture itself, and because the UAV has the capability to actually be fitted with the multiple sensors. The image sensors, basically the data which are we are getting from the satellite imagery that are not precise and on a centimeter scale. So that's why we are using the UAVs for to get the better resolution of the images and to get and be benefited with the multiple application in the various diversified areas basically. Some of the applications are UAVs, the land surveying, which you can say the land mapping in the agriculture itself. Terrain is terrain to define the terrain. We are using the UAVs for the landsliding kind of application, land surveying, and in the hilly region, the monitoring of the high terrain areas is very difficult through manual inspection. So we can use the UAVs, the precise, because they provide the precise imagery, and the UAVs can be fitted with the multiple sensors like thermal sensors, lidar sensors. So that's why it's a multiple diversified applications are there for the surveying itself. And for in the civil engineering itself, there are multiple application, like if we are having if for the inspection of the bridges where the the otherwise inspection is difficult, so there we can use the UAVs for the uh, inspection, also the infrastructure inspection basically, under the bridges, cell phone towers, power lines, solar panels. There are many applications where we are actually having the uh, using the UAVs. And sometimes for the mining itself, in the mining itself, the for the volume calculation or some mineral extractions and some kind of mining, there we also can use the UAVs. The feasibility surveys, there we are also being used the UAVs, and also the for the land mapping for the urban development department is also using the UAVs for the land demarcations. And there are very big applications in the agriculture field by using the UVs for the crop monitoring, chemical applications, and land management. There are wide range of applications are available in the agriculture field for crop monitoring itself, to identification of disease, insects. We can actually identify the disease in a very early stage, because the manual inspection of the crops or the crop field when we are having the large farmland area is bit difficult, uh, because that is actually required the labor, and the labor cost is very high sometimes. So that crop monitoring is we can do with the UV itself, and we can detect the diseases. Some if some insecticides is there, that we can also detect the crop progress, crop
मेंशन कर दो किसी से बात करनी होगी फिर कौन करेगा
the crop
ये
monitoring can be done through
मैं
the
टॉपिक
and in this area the CDEC is also working, and in one of the project in which we are actually being identifying the yield estimation in the crops, and also identifying the disease detection in the crops itself by using the multispectral camera and the lidar sensors and thermal sensors, and which are actually being mounted up on the UAV, and using those sensors data, and we are able to detect the disease and the various crop progress and the crop monitoring functions through that surveillance. And there are chemical applications, also fertilizer application and pesticide applications, which are till now, which are actually be banned by DGCA in the field of agriculture, that we cannot spray the pesticides or the fertilizers through UAV. Uh, so these applications are not actually be permissible till now, up to my knowledge. Right, and the land management is also be the one of the application which are being used in the using the UAV. Uh, we can actually take care of the drainage issue, replanting decisions, yield estimation, soil moisture computation, which can also be done through the UAV itself. These are some of the applications which are being used in the agriculture areas. And the environment study, I already talked about the in the high terrain area we are using the UAVs. For the in the wildlife, we are actually being used already using the UAVs in Andhra Pradesh. The government are actually be using in the forest area, which are defined forest area. They are using the UAV for the animal counting, and one another state I don't know. I actually right now I'm not actually get that the name of the state. They are also using the UAVs for in the wildlife applications, and the forest management, the forest fire detection, and some other application. UAVs are being used because there is a capability in the UAV. There is a capability they can actually connect to the ground station, and which are being controlled by the pilot, which are on the ground. And there are further many other applications which in which the UAV is directly connected to the satellites, and the user, the pilot is controlling the UAV through the satellite link itself. So there are many other applications also in the coastal areas. The coastal erosions are being detected by the UAV itself, and not only the flying air drones, there are multiple UAVs are also available. Some of the some vehicle, the aerial vehicles are which can actually can be operated
मैं
under
रोज
the
लेकर
water itself.
सारे
the humanitarian efforts which are being there also by using the UV disaster mapping in the case of natural disaster for the emergency response. The people are using the UVs. Our police department during the lockdown period, the police was actually being used the UAV, the drones to monitor the very high sensitive areas, and also for the post disaster assessment. For the post disaster assessment, UAV is being used. Hazard monitoring, the volcanoes, glaciers, floods, where the human cannot go, the UAV can go. So that's why the drones are being used for the emergency services, disaster management, or the places which are dangerous to the humans. There the UAVs can be sent and for the surveying and for the monitoring. Creating imaginary from the UAVs. UAVs are programmed to fly courses at a set of elevation. At a predetermined time interval, photographs are taken. These photos overlap enough to create a seamless image compiled of a collage of picture. Means the data which are being actually be taken from the UV in a stream video. So that are being for creating the imaginary UVs are being used. Now, if we are using the UAVs, what is the way how we can actually be choose the right drone, right UAV for our applications? This is mm, this is very important. Let application drive the purchase decision. For example, site surveying. Excuse me. For example, site survey, inspection work, etc. We actually identified for which area we are using the UAV. So based upon that, we can actually be uh, taken the purchase decision. Like use popular flight controller and platform. Whatever the best platform and the controller which are being available in the market, we actually being use that. So that the because it's very important. Sometimes the controller and the aerial links are being disconnected. Because of that, some problem has been happened, and if the communication is lost, the UV can be mm, you cannot localize the UAV that time. So this is very important that the controller is well defined and the proprietary product or the some proprietary item or some the which is actually having the good reviews, we are going to buy that one. Spend twice as much time choosing the sensor package as you are for the definitely the sensors are very important while actually be using the right drone for our applications, because if the sensor are not available with the UAV, you cannot actually use that UAV in your applications. And some UAVs are available if you are thinking that uh, while actually buying the drone, we are thinking that some sensor we can embed later on, but sometimes the manufacturer are not providing such kind of facility that you can connect or embed any or ported any other sensor upon the uh, drone itself. So this is very conscious decision that whatever the sensor is required, that must be ported upon the UAV that have the facility. The UAV have the facility to embed that. Can the platform carry different type of sensors? Definitely, the drone can. If drone don't have any the ported station, the UAV upon that. So this is very conscious decision. So there are many different type of UAV processing tools are available. That is 4D, Drone Deploy, Agisoft. These are some of the proprietary products which are being available. So So these are the different kind of tools are being available for the drone taken from the UAV to the controller side. Now there is a very important concept about the payload, which are actually with the payload. I think some slides I actually have missed in that slide, and payload is very important. Payload on UV, that is mean the important thing, that what kind of camera or sensor which has to be installed with that one, that is very important. That payload is basically the weight drone or the UAV can carry, and it is usually counted outside the weight of the drone. Means whatever the weight of the drone is there, the payload is the additional weight over there. And every company which are actually every manufacturer define that how much weight can a particular drone can carry. So if a drone is having a weight, say 1 kg, then if you are having a sensor, then that is additional load. So one has to know exactly the capability of UAV, how much payload can carry. Accordingly, the sensor or the cameras are installed within the with the UAV. And another thing, now there is an importance of the payload itself, and a greater payload of UAV are being also thought to carry multi-sensor greater payload, and that is also now being becoming popular. And there are also like camera to a dual imagery being used nowadays, because thermal and the RGB imagings are actually now commonly being used simultaneously on a single platform, so that the multiple data can be extracted, multiple diversified data can be extracted, and analysis can be done upon the that part.
कॉलिंग का कोई
And
सिस्टम नहीं है
some of the applications also using the lidar technology in the UAV to
I request
identify.
other people to switch off the microphone, please. It is totally disturbing the lecture.
Yes, please switch off the your microphones. Yeah, switch off, please. So they can use by for the lidar technology, of course. Lidar is a laser detection and ranging sensor, from where we can identify the distance of the object from one place to the another. If the sensor has been deployed upon the UAV, we can easily identify the distance of the particular object from the UAV itself. So the lidar technology is also being used in the UAV. Not only if we are talking about the UAV, now lidar is already coming in the Apple actually come with the new iPad Pro, which they in that they already embedded the lidar sensor with the camera itself. So we can see how the technology is going forward, and we are everybody is going to use these technologies in the to actually project the AR VR kind of stuff. So that's why lidar is an important sensor. And another sensor is which we are actually being using in the UAV is the GPS system or the GNSS system inbuilt. So they can be controlled or uh, planned your survey and precisely and accurately compute your location itself. So all these things have to access before such surveys are initiated. There are a number of different type of payloads available nowadays for different purposes, for different application, and with different capability. So UAV sensor payload can include such as high definition video photography, very common payload on UAV basically, which are being used for various purpose, and thermal imaging is also there, which is again very important, especially in case of disasters and the other applications. And like an earthquake or other, and one if there are human which are trapped in the rubble of the building, then probably these thermal sensor on board of the UAV, it can help to large extent also uh, to actually monitor the radiation level, uh, because going in the area where the radiation may be very high may be dangerous for the human, but such machine can be sent for the survey. And volatile organic compound also, this be actually be dangerous basically. And also we can monitor those also, like particulate PM 2.5 and other environmental parameter, we can also be actually be monitored through these kind of UAVs. So where the human is not safe, UA can also be depending upon the requirement. Human is not safe. So the thermal imaging is also becoming a very powerful tool along with the UAV drones in the construction and the construction, mining, and electrical surveys, also firefighting, search rescue. There we can actually be use the UAVs. So I already had talked about the advantages and disadvantages about the UAV, and there are various applications. Already had talked about the applications of the UAV itself. So there are many fields where the UAV is now being used. In every field, we are using the such uh, technology. Right? We are also developed our own UAVs in India itself. DRDO Rustam and the DRDO Nishant are the two UAVs which are the combat aircraft, unmanned aircraft, and they have the uh, uh, Rustam, a medium altitude, long endurance combat air vehicle, range about 250-kilometer payload, which can carry about the 95 kilogram of the payload. And another one is the DRDO Nishan, which have the capability to fly in the night itself, and which actually have the UV range of about 160 kilometer and payload about the 45 kg. The range means 250 kilometer, that they can fly from the controller side to the 250 kilometer of the range. Means the communication link has been established till the 250 kilometer of the range, and in the same as the 160 kilometer in case of the Nishan. So this is my presentation about the UV, the basic overview and the application domain areas in the UV itself. So that is all about from my side. Any questions and any queries?
Can you explain the importance of LiDAR, sir? LiDAR.
Yeah, sir. LiDAR sensor is basically being used for the to measure the distance. Basically, the LiDAR from the LiDAR sensor, we actually identify that of the particular how far the particular object is being placed. If we are flying a drone and that is equipped with the LiDAR sensor, if we are actually be using in the agriculture or the terrain area or the hilly region, then we actually identify and plot that terrain area. That's why the LiDAR is being used. And another application of the LiDAR, which I already had mentioned, that Apple actually introduced the LiDAR sensor in the iPad Pro itself. They are actually being using the LiDAR sensor for plotting the augmented reality or the virtual reality kind of stuff, or the 3D imaging kind of stuff, because from there we can easily identifying the object in the 3D 3D image itself, because we actually identify the distance of the object from the particular sensor basically. So that's why the LiDAR is being used in many applications.
Sir, one more question, sir. What is the minimum cost of the LiDAR for the small applications?
Sir, there are various range of the LiDAR sensor available. The minimum range is about the 10,000 rupees. You can buy the very nominal LiDAR sensor. And for the higher range, they are having the very high precision LiDAR sensor, which are, I mean, very costly. Means.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, one question. Because if you are using some camera in
Yes, sir.
UAV and it's rotating, in case it is rotating or the GPS system accuracy is not correct, then is there any technology by which you can see that your picture is steady, or you can identify again that position
The
with
most of the
accuracy?
UV, yeah, most of the UVs which are actually which are actually having the how can when you actually go for the specs in the UV for many manufacturers, you can see that they actually refer the rovering of the UAV, that how much rover that particular UAV at one place itself. So the imaginary that we are actually being captured that have very mild of the distortion in that because of the rotary because the mostly the uh, these quadcopters basically they are the very stable UAVs and you can get the very stable image in that particular UAVs. And mm, what was your question? Actually, I forgot from that point.
Uh,
Can you please?
Sir, actually, because it is rotating, same position
The
should be started
localized. Yeah,
located.
you
Yes,
asked
sir.
about the GPS. Yes, sir. In case of the GPS, when our communication link has been distorted and the GPS where such type of application are not providing by the manufacturer, but we can develop the indoor localization, whatever be the indoor localization method we are actually being used, that can be used in the UAV itself. If you can say in the indoor suppose some in the building we are not using the GPS because the GPS, but we are using the different indoor localization methods to actually localize that particular object location. The same method we can apply upon the UAV itself, unless but again the GPS is required if you have some other alternative like Wi-Fi or the some other alternative, some other protocol is available to actually localize the position, that is we can use, or we can implement or develop our own localization method itself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah, please, sir.
Actually, in India, any club or any government organization or non-government organization motivating the students in the form of club or membership so that they can get more practice on UAV, sir.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you suggest any good institution?
Sir, there are a number of institutions. Even on a DGCA website, you can find the list of all the institutes in every state. There is one nodal point where is that particular station is available or the training center is available. There you can get the training and also get the license to fly the drone itself. Right? And you can find
Oh,
those the list of the training station from the DGCA website itself.
DGCA. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning.
And, sir, how the path planning of an UAV will be done, sir? Can you please explain?
Yes, that actually been sometimes that can be provided by the manufacturer itself or the controller software they have equipped with such type of means capability. They come with such type of capability. Some economical drones don't have such type of capability. Basically, we
Sir,
actually define the path upon that particular software, and actually we feed that through the controller. We actually feed that path to the aerial vehicle, and
so
the drone will fly
predefined path
through.
will be there, sir.
Yes, predefined path we can define through the software package, but that
Okay,
software package are sometimes the proprietary package of that particular manufacturer. That
okay,
depends.
sir.
We can also
Okay,
design our own package itself. Right.
Good morning, sir. I have one
Yes, good
question.
morning. Yeah, please, sir.
Is there any models, simulation softwares are available in UAV?
Simulation software, yes, I had already had talked about the Pixel 4D is also there, and some other software is also available in the uh, in of the various manufacturer, or some other proprietary products are also available for the simulation purpose, because some of the application in the high terrain area or the hilly area which actually need for the simulation also, they are actually being use such software itself. You can try the Pixel 4D, I think.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Sir, when two drones are flying, then how the drone will distinguish which signal is to that only? How it is?
Actually, the drone always you asked a very good question basically. Now there is a intercommunication between the drone is also been available, the such type of technology, and people are working upon that itself, that multiple drones are actually be flying, and the communication between the multiple drones is also can be established, and from the controller station you can fly from a single controller, you can fly the two drones itself. But again, the pilots are different. There are two pilots are required to fly the two drones basically, but you can control two drones from a single controller itself. That such type of technology is already available.
Yes, sir. But how the distinguishing is being done? I
The
mean,
communication, yes, the communication link, the session link is established between the two different drones is there basically. Some dedicated link has been established every time from the controller with the drone. Some dedicated link has been established between the controller and the aerial vehicle basically.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any other query? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sanjay Madam sir, for such on overview of UAV. Hopefully, all the participants got an idea regarding the UAV technology. So the next session will start at 10:45 a.m. Till that time, thank you everyone. We will reconnect again at 10:45. Thanks.